MR crew. I just wanted to talk about...
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, yeah, sorry. My name's MJ, and I'm from Maine, and I'm a YouTuber. I just made like a big video essay about fascism, and I wanted to talk about the right's response to, the recent tragedies in like Uvalde and Buffalo and stuff, because to me it's really like at a point where like, at what point are we going to stop using like some of these euphemistic labels like right nationalists and identitarians and just call these people fascists? Because I really think that like all the characteristics are there, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that I would disagree with you, but what particular utility do you think there is in saying fascists at this point versus that? I mean, I'm just asking. I don't feel terribly strongly about it one way or another, to be honest with you. I might come up with a third one. I'm not even sure what it would be. But what utility do you think is there at this point?
Well, like I said, my video essay about it was like 80 minutes. I've done a bit of research on this. And
What's
I just
your
feel
channel?
like there's been...
What's your channel?
It's just my name. It's MJ Convey.
Okay.
I had to break the video essay into 2 parts, but I mean, like, if you look at the description is like 3,000 characters because of all the sources I cited. And I just feel like there's been like a bit of a concerted effort to kind of obscure maybe what fascism is. So like a lot of Americans know that fascism is bad, but they couldn't necessarily define it outside of its most notorious examples. And so I guess like for me, the utility of just calling like a Marjorie Taylor Greene or a Lauren Boebert a fascist would just be that like it would get people thinking about it a little bit more and maybe like trying to do some of their own research. Of course, like there's always pitfalls there because the right is very good at creating their own information pipelines that lead people in the wrong direction. But I feel like until it's been tried, we can't really say that it can't work.
I mean, what do you mean by it's been tried? Like, I would say that we call them fascists fairly interchangeably. Yeah. But I think, in terms of messaging, are you saying that like YouTubers or talk show hosts should be calling them fascists, or the Democratic Party should be calling them fascists? And I mean,
I don't really expect it from like the establishment Democrats like Pelosi and Biden. Maybe like, I don't know, AOC, but I mean, like, I don't really know how to reach out to her and get her to start doing that.
Yeah.
Regarding like the mainstream media, again, I don't really expect that from them either because they're very, they try to present both sides of the argument, and there's one side of this argument that really does not deserve to have its voice heard, So, I mean, honestly, dude, I mean, I hear what you're saying. It's about identifying the enemy, but frankly, labels on the enemy will only do so much. Donald Trump was called every name in the book. There was Oppo research about him, and it's not a substitute for beating them with power and with substantive messaging.
And the real problem is you need political education, and you can try to use that label as a shorthand to get people to do that. Maybe they'll pick up like Robert Paxton, Anatomy of Fascism or something like that, and understand like why this stuff keeps happening and why it's sort of cyclical. But I mean, I look, if you want to call them fascists, call them fascists.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with you calling them fascist. I think it is. I think it is, and it sounds like your video is worth watching, at least from an academic perspective. But in terms of like what follows by getting people to use the word fascist, I mean, here's the thing: if you look at like what they did to CRT, those were they didn't even have to stand for anything. Like literally, they could have just chosen 3 other letters, like LMN or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it is less about, the sort of calling them fascists, because it's not like our society is prepared to react to the word fascist in broadly speaking in the way that we would want them to. You know, I think there's as much of an argument, frankly, that the idea of like white nationalism or extremism or this and that could ring some more alarm bells than fascism. As an academic perspective, you know, I think there's value in it. And I think, you know, the audience for that may be smaller and then go out with that knowledge so that they understand sort of like it's not so much about a label as much as it is about understanding the dynamic that's taking place and where people who are of that ilk are today and where they might be tomorrow and what things to look out for. And like, this is a problem on this progression. But in terms of a messaging thing, I just don't think it has the power that maybe it should or could, but I don't think it is. But say your YouTube channel again, and I'll have people send some people over there.
Yeah, the name is MJ, and then Convey, CONV as in Victor, EY. I don't normally do political stuff. I kind of alternate where I'll do like a music education series and then I'll do a video essay because I'm kind of eclectic like that. But I am very proud of the.
Well, people will see that stuff too.
Hopefully, people will come over there.
And I also say V as in Victor. So there we go. We have that in common.
Appreciate it.
All right, thanks.